People think that when you move from abroad, you come back with millions. Truth, I just moved into a shared apartment here in Lagos. And this is the reality nobody tells you about after abroad. So, in my previous place, I was also staying in a shared apartment, but it was more or less like an emergency shared apartment, because at that point I got back, I was staying in Airbnb and it was costing me thousands of naira monthly. In fact, the previous place I was staying was paying about 1.2 million for a month, and the shared apartment I got after that was about 2.2 million for a year, which, as you can see, there's a huge margin, a huge difference between those two. So now I had to go for a better space, and I found this space. It was a new build, everything was new, the kitchen was neat, clean, unlike my previous place. The kitchen wasn't that good, and the environment was also not that good. But here the environment is neat, everywhere is just clean, and I love it. So I picked it, and I decided to stay in shared apartment because it's just me. I don't have anybody else that is staying with me, and I feel like that is just okay. The good thing about where I'm staying right now is that there's accessibility, it's secured, it's a secured estate. I don't really have any issues. The people that I'm staying with here are very good people, very quiet people. Others, they meet around shared apartment, but it's not like that here. So let's talk about the cost of all of this. The room that I rented here costs 2.2 million in total, so that's the total package. But the room alone, the rent was 1.5 million. But you know how they do in Nigeria, there's this, there's that, there's this, which drove the price up to 2.2 million. And that's all for a whole year. So that's what you can look forward to if you wanted to move back and then live a minimal life, live by yourself. I would say if you are alone, to manage your budget, the best you can do is to get a shared apartment, a nice one, just like mine. I'm comfortable, I have not to compare. I've never complained about the housemate and all of that. And if you were living in the UK, you were working, you've saved, you know that my 2.2 million naira for a year is nothing compared to what you pay in the UK monthly. Your 2 months rent can literally pay this 1 year rent, so it's doable. So moving to Nigeria might not be that bad at the end of the day, but there are so many things. You can check my other videos. I've been talking about it endlessly, so we don't have to get confused. The issues that I have here is that we don't have a general generator. So once the power goes out, everybody on their gen, and the noise is, I don't know how to put it, it's crazy. You just have to keep your windows shut so that you don't get so much. The privacy is not an issue, you know. It's not going to be how you pictured living in the UK, but it's doable, especially when you're living with great people. So if I break the rent down, let me change it into dollars. That would be $1,500 for a whole year on the rent. But bear in mind that this is a shared apartment. If you wanted something like an apartment of your own, maybe a one-room or parlor apartment, just take it to, let's say you should be looking at something like in Lekki area around this side, you should be looking at something like 5 million naira at that point. And if you're looking at to rent a bigger space, like 3 rooms, at that point you should be looking at around, give or take, I don't know, 8 million, 10 million. It depends on this area, not exclusive areas. So if that was good to something like Lekki Phase 1, it doubles down like that. So keep that in mind, okay? Other bills that come in is, you know, there are not much bills here in Nigeria. So mostly your water is already paid in the service charge, which is already part of the rent. The bills you pay after that is NEPA bill, which I know everybody's aware of. You have to pay your power bills. And it depends on where you are living. NEPA bills changes. Normally the light comes from NEPA at 65 naira or something like that. But where I am, per unit is 322 naira. I don't know why. I think because of the transformer and you're in a secured area, so I guess they control their own lights. Also, if you have a generator, you have to buy 4, which I think is 895 naira per liter right now. So depends on how much lights you get and how much you use your generator. Those are extra expenses. Why shared apartments? I mean, when I was outside, when I was abroad, I thought that if I come to Nigeria, I was going to live alone and I was going to be living large. But after a year of living in Nigeria and seeing things for myself and going through it, I realized that it wasn't gonna work. But at the beginning, I actually planned to not live large, so which is why I stayed in a shared apartment in the first place. After that 1 year, I realized that it was actually the best choice for me, because imagine if I had gone and rent a place of 5 million or all of that stuff, which I don't really need because it's just me, right? I might have regretted largely. I might have had to go back. I might have exhausted my savings. I might have to go back now, got into hustle abroad. But I knew that was not going to work. So now I've actually scaled down. I've had time to look for a better place. This place is really nice and I love it. It's clean, everything is neat. The only thing to worry about is water. Sometimes water is not clean, and that's, I think, is a general problem in Lekki. Yeah, that's good. So some people will ask, who are my content for? Of course, it's not for people that are trying to retire. It's not retirees that my contents are for. Some people that have spent all their life, spent 50 years working, saved money, have backup. Those are not the people my video is generally for, but still it can be useful to them. But my video is for those that want to move back to Nigeria with no big plans, no backup, just want to come back and build from scratch. Students go abroad, they finish studying and they move back to Nigeria. You don't expect them to have millions in their account to come and live large or to come and live according to your expectations just because they've lived abroad. Most people go to school for years abroad and then they move back to Nigeria. So for those of you that ask those questions, my content is for these people that just want to get back to Nigeria and start fresh with no extra savings to start a business or to start building a business. They just want to do their thing. So my content, we give them a full view and reality on what to expect. Or if you're someone that was born abroad and you decide to finish school there and want to move to Nigeria, you need to know what it is like here. I know some people will laugh and say, after 15 years abroad, living in a shared apartment in Lagos. But the truth is, that's the reason why most people would never move back, because they're afraid of being shamed for having make it before moving back. But for me, I'm here to build and I have no shame in that. Abroad gave me comfort, but here I'm learning patience, resilience, and how to start small. This is why I share my story, because not everyone, some of us come back to rebuild. Thank you guys for watching this video. Of course, the best way you can support the channel and support this video is by using the hype button. So what you want to do is, once you like this video, the hype button is going to pop up. Go ahead, click on it to let YouTube know that this video was interesting and it was helpful to you. That way they will rank it higher and more people get to see it. Thank you guys so much for your support. I do appreciate it. I'll see you guys on my next video.